band life, how to get more shots out your bands, what causes early breakages, and basically how can you prolong the life of a band set. It's a question you see asked all the time. Why are my bands breaking so quick? How many shots do I get? How can I make them last longer, etc, etc. In this video I'm going to give you my top 10 tips to stop early breakages and give you the most out of your band life. Number 10. What I've noticed while out mooching and shooting, if you get liquid on your bands like juice, a bit of coke when you have a drink of coke or something, and you leave it on there and it dries out, when it dries out it can perish and fade the elastic, causing weak points. This isn't a major issue in band life that much, hence why it's at number 10 at the bottom of the list, but it is a factor to look out for. If you spill anything on your bands, clean them up, keep them nice and clean. This will save anything perishing in the bands and rotting them away. Number 9. Dry firing. Dry firing is a big no. It rapidly decreases how long your bands will last. It's high in my list at number 9 because not a lot of people at all do actually dry fire a catapult. If loads of people was doing it all the time, this would most likely be down there as the first or the second most popular choice for early breakages and shorter band life, but not a lot of people do it, hence why it's up so high at number 9. So dry firing, no, it will dramatically reduce your band life. Number 8, using the right ties. It's very important to get the right knot when attaching the bands to the pouch. Wrap and tuck is fine, wax end threads, whipping threads, they're all fine. However, you can use the wrong type and you can apply it wrongly. Number 8 on my list is ties. Some types of threads cut straight into the bands, they can be done too tight, which will cause early breakages. Exactly the same can be done with elastic using the wrap and tuck method. Your bands can be stretched to a ridiculous amount before it's applied, that can be done too tight, and this will cause early failure at the pouch end of the catapult, so make sure your ties are right. Number 7, maxing your bands. Now there is no right or wrong in how far you pull your bands back. A lot of people like 100% stretch. It gives you the most power. But on the downside of that, if you stretch your bands to 100%, which for me would be about there, hence I only have mine at about 90%. I always allow that little extra 10%. 1, you don't want to be struggling like this, and 2, it's just nice to have that little bit of give. It's comfortabler. So stretching your bands to 100% or 95% plus will give you early breakages. Most people like to shoot theirs, from what I can find, in between 85 to 90% stretched. There's nothing wrong with shooting bands at 100% stretched, nothing at all. All as I'm saying is the more stretch you put in them, the earlier they will break. Number 6, sharp objects in your pocket when you're carrying your catapult. If you catch it on sharp zips, coins, keys, any little blemish or cut that you get in your elastic will make them fail. Exactly the same as walking around the woods, catching them on a sharp rock, on a thorn bush, on a tree branch. Anything you catch them on will lead to early failure. So look after your bands and they will look after you. Now we get it into the top 5, my opinion, on the 5 most important things you need to do to get more out of your band life. The sun, the UV rays. If you leave your elastic in the sun, the UV rays from the sun will break down the elastic and cause early failure. And I don't mean leaving it for days and days and days. Sometimes just a short time left in the sun is enough for the sun's UV rays to get into your elastic and cause damage. Number 4, ammo with rough or sharp edges will also really damage your bands. I'm talking as in rocks, bricks, stones, anything with a sharp edge. Some people shoot nuts and bolts. If they've got a little sharp edge and they brush your bands, not necessarily when shooting, when in the pocket with it or loading the pouch, anything you shoot with a little sharp edge, whether it be rocks, stones or whatever like that, it does risk a chance of touching the elastic and again causing an early band breakage. In third place, and something that causes a lot of early band breakages, shooting ammo that is not matched to the bands and ammo that is too light for the elastic fitted. It's almost like dry firing, but whereas not a lot of people do the dry firing, there is a damn lot of people who shoot ammo that is well too light for the bands. And they don't realise that they are probably halving, sometimes quartering the band life. We will be doing videos soon on how to match bands to ammo and different cuts and all stuff with various elastics and ammos. But you know, you don't shoot little steel balls with really heavy bands. That's, you know, there for your leads, your bigger ammo, your smooth stones and all that. So do not shoot ammo that is too light for the bands. It can literally half or quarter the band life. So use the ammo that matches the band and you'll define. Number 2, rough tips or sharp edges on the Catapult forks. So many people I've seen, and I put a picture on Facebook or a video on YouTube, you see I've fitted a new band set, you look at the forks and it looks like a shark's mouth, all jagged teeth and stuff cutting out, and you just know if it doesn't give way at the fork end when it's pulling over, then it will give way when that bit comes through and catches the fork. I've always said it doesn't matter if all that part of your Catapult is rough and sharp, the only thing that really matters is that little bit there. As long as this bit where the bands fit and it is smooth, you'll have no problems. So if you're having early band breakages and you've got rough fork tips, sand them smooth. Now, this is my number one. People obviously might have different opinions on everything in this video, but this is the way I put it. They have to be cut and made flawless with no dinks or chips or blemishes. I mean even machine cut or cut with one straight cut with a sharp rotary cutter on the correct mat. Because if you have a band set that you put on and it has little chips and little cuts and blemishes down the bands, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. That's where your rips and tears will start. So if your bands are not cut perfect in the first place, they will break, regardless of if you do the other 9 things right that I've mentioned. If they are not cut and made right, whether you make them yourself or whether you buy them off somebody, when you buy a band set you want to be looking across down that line and you don't want to see the slightest little chip, little piece missing, because that will be exactly where they go. So that is why this is number one in my opinion. As I said, regardless of the other 9, if your bands aren't right when you fit them on, it doesn't matter about the other 9, they're still breaking anyway. You can do the other 9 things perfect. If you put a band on with a cut or a chip in, then no good. And of course, after all them 10 top tips, flat bands, they don't last forever anyway. Depending on what band, how you maxed them out and what you listen to in this video, they only last anything from a couple hundred shots up to 700-800 shots anyway, depending on what ammo you use, how they're made and all that. So they don't last forever anyway. They will need replacing. Depends on how much you shoot. I'll replace mine. Lately I'll probably be putting a set on about a month because I haven't been doing any shooting, but you know, always check out, always check for little cuts and dinks, always check and look after your bands. You look after them, they'll look after you. I'm almost certain if anybody is having early band breakages, well, I think it has to be one of them 10 reasons I've just mentioned. I don't think there's many more reasons that could cause early band breakages apart from just being damn unlucky. So yeah, band breakages, let's try and eliminate them for as long as possible. It's inevitable it's going to happen. They don't last forever, but let's try and make the most of it. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. We've got many more how-tos, top 10 tips and loads of stuff coming. We've got 2 shoots coming up and something else. We're out in the country now. I've got a couple of videos to do and reviews, but they won't be on for the next, they'll be a few weeks away yet. There's just bits I'm recording and putting together. So yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, like it. Catch you all soon. You all have a good day.